Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a bit of a crazy set, so I'm going to start with the gel polishes. I've got a white here and I've also got this kind of neon-y reddy colour. I've got 11302 and 1323 from Cloud Beauty. We've also got a Macarte transfer foil gel and also a Semilac strong turquoise 439 shades. So going back to the nail design, it's a bit of a crazy one today. I was basically inspired by the transfer foil that we're going to use later on, so it feels like I haven't done a transfer foil in a little while, especially a Christmas nail design transfer foil design. So I thought, why not kind of dig into my transfer foils? I do have about 2 plastic packs, so I think there's about 8 different foils in each pack, so I've got about 16 different Christmassy foils, so I thought why not kind of dig in, have a look, see what I can create today, and I picked out one of them that I thought was really pretty, so that's the inspiration. But because this transfer foil had a lot of different colours in, it had some orange, pinks and this turquoise kind of colour, I thought bring those colours in as well, excluding the orange, and it just ended up going a bit out of control, spiraling out of control, and it became a bit of a crazy set. When I first finished it, I was like, oh my goodness, this does not suit. Like, I was just like, it's just a wild set. Each nail was just doing something different. It just didn't feel like it fitted in. But the longer I look at it, the more I'm thinking, actually, it looks alright. So you're gonna have to let me know in the comments. But yeah, so with the base colours, we've got 4 nails that are fully white and then 1 nail that's going to be full turquoise. We've applied 2 layers now, so we've cured those, and we are going to apply some of the Macarte transfer foil gel. So this is my go-to, most favourite transfer foil gel. If you're curious, I'll have links in the description to as many products as I possibly can that I've used today, and we're going to apply it to 2 nails. So I like to apply a fairly thin layer. These, especially the Macarte one, if you apply it a bit too thick, it does end up kind of wrinkling under the lamp. Sometimes it wrinkles just a little bit, so you can actually get away with it when you apply a top coat. It kind of like eliminates the wrinkle, you can't see it as much. But it's best to just work with very thin layers, and you need to make sure you cover the full nails so that you don't have any gaps where you end up not getting any of the transfer foil to transfer. So whilst those being cured, they're chilling in the background. You can tell which ones they are because they've got this yellowy tint to them. And now it's time to do an ombre. So I've got a 3-way ombre. We've got a white, we've got a turquoise in the middle, and we've got the gorgeous, what is it, like a neon-y, pinky, reddy kind of colour. I'm not quite sure what you'd call this colour, but we're going to do a 3-way ombre as you saw on my sponge. I've only showed you me doing this first layer, but here it is all nice and done. So I use clear acrylic to sprinkle on the ombre. I always get asked why. I'm not quite sure of the answer. I've just seen someone on Instagram do that ages ago now, and I've tried it and it works like a charm for me, so I just do that technique. I always like to say that I think, just from guessing, the acrylic works almost like a little sponge. Once you apply it and you cure it, there's kind of like a rough area where the gel polish can sink into to create a nicer ombre. But yeah, that's just my way of doing an ombre. So if you ever do struggle with ombres, do give it a go. Honestly, it will be a life-changing event for you because it definitely was for me. So now that we left the transfer foil gel in the background, it cooled down. I always highly advise that. I'm thinking of doing like a video just dedicated to transfer foils, tips and tricks, and just, yeah, I'm definitely going to do that because I feel like it was kind of those videos that I needed back when I was struggling with transfer foil gels. But as you can see, it transferred like a little charm. So we're just going to apply the transfer foil where we want it, which is just a full cover nail there. So this is the transfer foil I was talking about. It's quite hectic on here, so there's a lot going on, and that's why I liked it mostly. I like that there's a pop of colour in there, and there's the kind of outlines of a bell, a present, a Christmas tree. I quite enjoyed it. You're gonna, like I said, have to let me know in the comments if I managed to fit the rest of the nails in nicely or not. This is probably one of the ones that's going to tickle the fancy of some people and not others, so yeah, let me know in the comments. So now we're going to work on this turquoise nail. This one I'm going to have to unfortunately chop out and then just come back when it's done. I ended up just coming off camera completely and doing this nail. This is going to be a present nail, so we're going to do a line down the center of the, well, not the center, a bit more to the right, but from the top to the bottom, and then we're going to do a line from the left to the right, and then we're going to do like a bow design with your gel polish. So here I'm using some glitter bells, unbelievable gel. I love that for nail art, I highly recommend it. So that's the nail done in the background. So now it's time for the white nail, and for this one I'm just going to use some of this turquoise color to just do an outline. This doesn't have to be perfect. We are literally going to chuck crystals on top of that line that we've created now. So you don't have to do it with the turquoise. You could do it with the pink, with the white, with the black, doesn't matter. And I'm going to do this slanted line over here, and then I'm going to do kind of dragging out lines from where we've just drawn a line and then just coloring it in. So what I'm doing is doing one set and then leaving a gap for the pink, and then doing another one. Here it is. I'm just going to repeat this all the way up the nail. Then I'm going to cure it, do another layer of this, which I'll do off camera, cure that, and then I'm going to do the pinky shade. So you don't have to do it my way. It was more for the ease of creating today's video, but I would have probably just went with the green first like I am now, and then did the pink as well next to it. But curing it in between actually the two colors might actually help you guys avoid any of the colors seeping through into one another. I know sometimes whenever I do colors next to each other that are not cured, that are literally touching, sometimes I find them kind of sinking into one another and mixing in whilst I'm working on the rest of the nails. So this could be a nice little way to avoid that, depending on the gel polish you're using. Some of them can be quite thick and they don't move. Some of them are a bit more liquidy. Depending on the brand you're using and the consistency of your gel polish, it might be nicer for you to kind of cure in between. So here we are, we've got 2 layers of that turquoise color. Now we're going in with this, I'm going to call it a pinky color, going in with this pinky, going in between that turquoise shade. Once again, we're going to do 2 layers, although this pinky shade is very opaque, so you could probably get away with just the 1, but I do go ahead and do 2, and then I cure it, and then once it's cured we will come back, and I often like to do some additional detailing where there's 2 colors that meet, and I'm going to use some of the Glitter Bells Unbelievable Gel in the shade white, and we are going to outline where the 2 colors meet. So you see that in just a second. And with the Semilac gel polishes, I highly recommend curing them for a minute. I just find that they cure better that way and there's no pigment left over. So there we are, we've got 2 layers of that. Now going into the white, and as you can see now, I'm going in between the 2 shades there. Just giving it that nice outline. There's no harsh lines in between where the 2 colors meet. It's just giving that little coverage, and I just like it. And with the Unbelievable Gel, you don't need to do 2 layers. You can literally just do 1. It's very pigmented, and yeah, you just need, saves you a lot of time. You could just use a white gel polish. You don't need to have a nail art gel. It's all down to you. For the longest time, I've been using just a single white gel polish. Doesn't have to be a nail art gel. Not at all, it's just now that I've got one, it's just so much easier and nicer. And to be honest with you, sometimes I do forget and I do actually pick up just a normal white, and it just pretty much works the same, depending on, once again, what kind of company you have. But yeah, it works like a charm. And in case you're not adding crystals on this nail, where the white and the little line that we've just done meets, you could just do another outline with the white as well. So we've got a little bit of stamping today, so we're going to stamp on our ombre nail. So I'm using my clear jelly stamper plate, and I'm using this new little jelly stamper picky upper thing. And it's funny enough because I've done a Black Friday haul, which is where I got this one actually from. It's a Moyu London stamper, and it's literally amazing. And it's so funny because in the video I was complaining how I didn't like it. It was just the first impressions. I was so shocked it was so tiny. I was expecting a larger stamper, but kid you not, this is so easy to use, so fun to use. I love that it's fully clear. I'm going to dedicate the stamper basically for videos. I'm going to use my clear jelly stamper going forwards off camera to create these off camera, and then when I go ahead and recreate them for the videos, I'm going to use my actual Moyu London stamper, just because it's easier for the videos. You guys can actually see clearly through. And with my clear jelly stamper one, unfortunately I've got glitter in there, which does restrict my view. So when I do make videos for you guys, the way the lights shine sometimes, my LED light, it just kind of ruins my vision, and it sometimes takes me a few times, so it's nicer to have ones that's actually clear. So Clear Jelly does offer just the clear one. At the time when I was buying mine, they didn't have the one in stock, so I did pick up this kind of glittery one, which I still love, but I would highly recommend you get a clear one. It's just so much nicer. I didn't know how much nicer it is until I got one, so there we are. I also find that this stamper jelly is so much more flexible and jelly-like compared to the clear jelly stamper one. I don't know how to explain it, but that's another video I'm also going to do for you all. I'm going to do like a one-to-one in-depth all about stamping, beginner friendly, what you need to get, how to stamp, all of that jazz. So if you're also kind of curious on that, stick around. I am very excited to do those because I always mainly stick to nail art, and I'm trying to venture into more like educational, maybe just tips and tricks, helpful little things that I've learned along the way of my nail art journey to help you all hopefully in the future. So stick around, I'm excited to do those. So now it's time to apply a top coat. I'm going to use my matte top coat from Evangelisa, of course. Matte top coat every day, all day at this point. And I'm applying it on all of those nails. So like, funny enough, we have no glitter. It feels like over the Christmas period, the glitter nails have kind of disappeared a little bit, which is probably fine because I'm sure over the summer glitter will be picked up way more often. It's just probably that I don't have a lot of glittery colors to match the sets I'm doing, because trust me, if I did, I'll be whacking them on real quick. So I'm just going to finish those up, pop them into the lamp, and then the very last little step as usual will be to apply some crystals. So here we are, all nice and matte. I love matte top coating transfer foil nails. They're so pretty. I love them. So starting off with the ombre nail, I'm going in with my Macart rhinestone glue gel. And in case you're wondering why it's in this funny pot, it's because my bottle broke, and I feel like it's a fairly common thing with their rhinestone glue gel little containers, the squeezy tube ones. This is the second one I have now, and it broke. Again, pretty much the same way. So I've had this little container that had like some horrible, very bad rhinestone glue gel, so I did end up just scraping it out, washing it out, and just put my whole Macart rhinestone glue gel in there. So now I've got it in a little container, and I prefer it that way so much more. Otherwise I found that I was using way too much of it, because you had to squirt onto little, I don't know, like a little container or somewhere. You had to squirt out a little bit that you want to use, and most of the time I ended up squirting way more than I needed, and it was just a big old waste. So this is so much better. So here I'm just using some AB crystal. I have this little charm, two little circular charming things going on too. There's no caviar beads today, although if you wanted to add them, they would kind of elevate the crystal placement, of course, and it would just look very pretty. So we're just gonna finish this one. I'm going to straighten it up off camera and then pop it into the lamp. And then we have one more nail with crystals, which was that what was it, that half kind of, I don't actually know how to explain it, the one where we've got pink and turquoise colors. There we go, that one. So I'm going to place this Macart rhinestone glue gel where the whites and the colors meet, and I'm going to pick up one size AB. You could go a bit extra and just play about with different sizes and shapes and all of that jazz, but I just went in for one circular size and shape of AB, and I'm just going to follow the line all the way up. So I find that sometimes doing this kind of technique with one size can be quite tricky depending on what size you get. So sometimes I find that I pick up a size and then it's too big, and at the end of it there might not be enough space for it, so you have to move them about or change the size. So yeah, it can be a bit annoying. I hope that makes even sense what I said. So like right now, if I carry on all the way up to the top, sometimes I find that because of the size and the space that I'm placing the crystals down on, there might not be enough space for the very last crystal, and there might be a little gap, so then you have to move the crystals about. But luckily for me this time around, it was almost perfect, almost like I sized it up, and I never do. It's quite hard to size it up or anything, but you see there, you place the last crystal and it was perfect. So I'm just going to straighten them up, pop them into the lamp, and here are the final results. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys!